Do you like food? I absolutely love food, but I want my food to be healthy. Have you ever thought about growing a garden? I have. My family and I, we started our own garden, an organic garden. The food and the vegetables just seem to be tastier, and we enjoy it. I may not grow the biggest vegetables, but I know that they are healthy and nutritious for my family, and my children seem to enjoy the vegetables more now than ever. My children and I made our garden together as a family. We worked hard as a unit. We had a lot of fun. We grow our vegetables without any use of chemicals or pesticides. And the important factors for us having the organic garden is our health benefits and the monetary benefits, along with the freshness, the deliciousness, and the availability. Whether we eat them that day, freshly picked, we freeze them, we jar them, we can them, they're available for us all year long whenever we want them. However, fresh vegetables are not always available in the store, and sometimes I end up buying processed foods. And I know that sometimes it is easier, I admit it. However, my concern is the continual use of foreign products that are used in the processed foods because they're making everybody sick. And the development of new allergies is growing to epidemic proportions. My own children, sister and I, we all have to be careful of the ingredients in store-bought products. Gluten, soy, and corn, canola, peanuts, garlic, ginger. There are just a few of the major allergens that we have to watch out for. My sister, she can't have gluten products. Gluten products mean that it's food that comes from soil that has been overproduced, and the soil no longer has the nutrients and the vitamins to give to the food, and therefore the food doesn't have the nutrients and the vitamins in it. And they lower, when you eat them, they lower your immune system, and you get sicker and sicker. And on top of that, you gain weight when you eat gluten foods. She can't have them. She just keeps getting sicker and sicker. Us, on the other hand, we have allergies, and we have to watch out what we eat. We have to read the ingredients, and I know that it takes longer when you're doing your grocery shopping, but it's important. Even if you don't have a health issue to be concerned about, knowing what's in your food products is very important, and everybody should know that. We want to know that our food is healthy and it's safe. The use of chemicals and the base fertilizers and other amendments that, like pesticides, they leave poisonous effects not just in the food, but all around the environment. As much as my family and I have worked to keep the groundhogs and the skunks and the rabbits and even the deer out of the garden, it doesn't mean that we want to poison them. I want to keep my family healthy. I want to give them healthy choices. But I also want to keep our home healthy, and that includes where we live. Having our own garden is more than just being healthy, though. It's also cost effective. The price of fresh produce in the grocery store is rising. Fresh produce is actually not as fresh as most people believe. My former supervisor at the local co-op, he was also a major grocery store food chain produce manager. He says that the produce that comes in is actually weeks old, sometimes months old. Very few of us know how our vegetables are grown, where they're coming from when they're in the supermarket, and if they're safe, how they're grown, how much pesticides and herbicides were the vegetables exposed to. On a global scale, all of the living organisms are negatively affected by these applicants. It's in the soil. It's going in the water. For this emphasis, I think growing organic vegetables should be, a high given. Everybody should know. Growing organically is more expensive choice of gardening, and the increase of cost of fuel is also increasing the cost of vegetables due to higher shipping and farming costs. It's important. We're importing more vegetables, and this rises the chances of our foods being tainted by natural or man-made contaminants. Not every country has the strict health codes that our own does. And Can we trust the large chain corporations, the chain grocery stores, to feed us safely and nutritiously? When we buy organic products in the supermarket, are they really organic? Where are they coming from? And organic food products are in ever-increasing demand, and I believe that's due to all of the effects of the chemicals in processed food. Having 5 hungry boys is also very demanding for keeping my pantry stocked and staying within my budget. Knowing we have healthy munchy choices like carrots and celery and scallions on hand, it helps to keep my budget and keeping the boys satisfied. The boys have actually gone down to the garden and they're outside playing on the way to school or on the way home from school, and they've, snatched something here or there to eat as a snack, which is, I'm great. I'm really glad. But sometimes I have to wonder, is it them? Is it the doggone rabbits coming back? So, home gardening is inexpensive, and maintaining and feeding the garden can be also inexpensive. Compost ingredients consist of most kitchen waste foods and garden surplus like scraps and stems, the parts that you don't use and don't eat, or that maybe were a little yucky when you finally got to them. Organic compost is just basically food for your soil. Using many different ingredients in your compost will supply and replenish all the important nutrients that your soil needs for healthy crop growth, and it increases insect pest resistance, which is a very big plus. And then you don't have to use the pesticides. Another reason for doing organic. It kills the pest itself. My boys like to help though. They like to help with making the compost. They rip up the cardboard and they crush the eggshells and they mix the soil, and they like to play with the worms. Most boys their age like to hunt for night crawlers for fishing purposes. Mine like to do it for the garden, and they like to play with them. They like to throw them in the garden, see who can get them the farthest, and watch them dig holes in the ground. Starting an organic garden, whether it's in a box in your house or in a box in your yard, it's growing your own vegetables in a way that's safe for you, your family, and the environment. It is a great activity project for the whole family, and is as educational, both for economic and nutritional reasons. We all have enjoyed the garden, and I have enjoyed the clod fights, the jarring experiences, the learning a lot about the homemade experiment recipes, and trying to find willing guinea pigs. My older boys picked making tomato jam as their favorite garden time, where my younger boys picked the clod fights for their favorite moments. Growing vegetables for your own use is both fun and healthy. With your own organic vegetable garden, you can save money and finally take back the control over what is going into your body and have fun doing it.